Wisdom shines in talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. My comments bring this profound wisdom into your experience. Use YouTube's closed captions to read along. So here the devotee came to Ramana after his young son had died, and Ramana replied with respect, acknowledging their grief. He said, the loss of one's offspring is said to be the worst of all griefs. Ramana continued, though, with the teaching that, if followed, would relieve all grief forever. Ramana says the best release from grief is to investigate the one who grieves. He said, grief exists only so long as one considers oneself to be a definite form. If the form is transcended, one will know that the oneself is eternal. There is no death nor birth. Emotional loss comes from one form when another form goes away or is lost. Loss of someone or something loved brings grief. Ramana invites self-examination to determine if, in fact, we are a form. These are basic questions. What exists? Who exists? What does it mean to exist? And how do we know existence? Ramana challenges us right at the base of all our ideas. Examine even these. They're just ideas, just assumptions, usually never challenged. So for you right now, what do you know for certain? What actually exists? For all of us, when we start to look at this, it starts with ourselves and the world around us. But when we get to the how do we know part, the investigation gets more complicated. When you examine how you know the world, you find it starts with your senses. But the senses themselves do not know. They just encode and send signals to the brain. The brain then interprets these sense inputs and constructs a mental world, a mental model of the world within the mind. This is the mental model we know, not the world itself. So how do we know this mental model? Who knows? What knows? As you investigate this, you start to see that while everything is modeled within the mind and everything changes in this model, everything that you know of comes and goes. That also there is this knowing awareness that is always present, always there. Everything you perceive with the senses changes. Things and experiences come and go or go through changes, but the knower is always there and never changes. This knower never gets bigger, for example, when enthralled by something of the world, or smaller when you withdraw attention from the world. This knower is always present, always the same. As you learn to meditate and quiet your mind from all thoughts, you see that this knowing consciousness is still there. When all you see with your mind is the void is known by this same consciousness. This consciousness knows the waking state, the dream state, and even the deep sleep state. A deep understanding expressed by Ramana Maharshi and Advaita Vedanta, the teaching of non-duality. The ancient basis of this teaching is that consciousness is what is. It is fundamental to the universe. It is not created out of some inert matter that somehow is transformed and become conscious. Inert matter does not transform itself into conscious being. Consciousness is. It's not that consciousness pervades everything. Rather, it is that consciousness is everything. And it's not just consciousness, but also being. Consciousness and being are inseparable. Everywhere you find awareness, you also find existence. If there is no existence, where is there space for awareness? If there is no awareness, how is existence ever known? So Ramana says that consciousness and existence are what exists. They are what is real. All the things of the universe are transitory and temporary, while the consciousness and existence in which they appear is always there. Advaita Vedanta teaches that what is real must be always, that reality does not come and go. So, what is real? Is it the appearance, which is temporary, that is real? Or is it the always existent being and consciousness? In your investigation, this is something you have to know for yourself. This is not mental cognitive knowledge, but the kind of knowing that is like your knowledge of your own existence. It is self-evident. Ramana says that this knowing is more akin to feeling than thinking. All this Ramana expressed in just a few sentences. That's why people say he is terse, sparing of words. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now to help you deepen your understanding and practice to know the self. Just click the subscribe button.